SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back, Spartan Nation. We now bring in the man, the legend, the way of life. He is Matt Hladik, the official editor, publisher, grand poobah, and everything else when it comes to thespun.com. If you're not familiar, thespun.com is the best sports aggregate site on the internet. I absolutely love The Spun. Read it all the time. And he joins us each and every week throughout the year. We only take 2 weeks off. And he joins us each and every week throughout the year. This time of year, we are all in on college football. Let's bring him in to go around the world of college football, the great Matt Hladik. Matt, how are you, bud?
I'm doing great, and college football is officially off and running.
Have you seen a more sloppy game than Miami and Florida? Wasn't it terrible?
Yeah, it was not good football. It was, it was a fun environment. It was a down-to-the-wire kind of game. There was a lot of intensity, and obviously it's two rivals, but it was not quality football. Hopefully the football, picks up and gets a little bit better starting on Thursday.
I agree. Well, hype videos have really become part of the game. It gets fans jacked up. It gets everyone fired up. Everybody's got them. I mean, what is your thoughts on these hype videos? I love them.
I think they're really, really cool. Sometimes can they be, jump the shark, so to speak, or be a little corny? Sure, but I think the overall premise is great, and I think that especially going into either a big game or going into a season opener, which is what we have this weekend, I think it was, you can't beat it. It gets the fans hyped up, gets the juices flowing. I think say no more than the fact that of all the college football stories we wrote yesterday at the Spun, the Oklahoma football hype video got the most shares. So I think that says all you need to know about where hype videos stand in college sports and among fans right now.
Joel Klatt had a very bold prediction for the preseason top 25. What was that?
Yeah, he released it on Saturday, so I guess technically just got it in before the final buzzer, before the games really started. He's high on two Big Ten teams in particular. He's really high on Nebraska, which he has 13th in the country, and he's really high on Michigan State, which he has 12th in the country. Other than that, if you look at his top 10 or so, looks like pretty much the same teams everybody has, just a little bit slightly different order. But he's really making his bank on Michigan State, Nebraska. I think Nebraska is the riskier play of those two, just because we haven't seen them do it yet. We've seen Michigan State, at the very least last year, had an elite defense. We know they should have one again. I think the offense, how it develops, will tell you how good of a season they'll have. But he's high on both Big Ten teams.
Urban Meyer came out with what he thought's the biggest question for Michigan football. What was it?
And I thought it was interesting because, Urban Meyer, of course, I feel like knows Michigan better than anybody else other than maybe Michigan themselves. He said he thinks it will be how they transition to the spread offense. Obviously, Urban knows a lot about coaching and coaching the spread and running the spread. He said he thinks that if they could find their footing there without taking too long to the season and getting a loss under their belt, it's a major key. He was very complimentary of their personnel, especially the three receivers. But he said adjusting to that offense, adjusting to Josh Gaddis, who's first time calling plays, will be the big key.
Kirk Herbstreit comes out with his predictions in each conference. I want to run them down with you. Clemson, Miami, and the ACC. Your thoughts there?
That's what I had, so no qualms there.
I'm just going to tell you, a team that I think's flying under the radar. I'm not saying they're going to beat Clemson because I don't think anybody's going to beat Clemson. But don't forget my boy Pat Narduzzi at Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah. That division, I took Miami to win it, but that division is wide open. I could see Pitt winning it again. I could see either Virginia school, perhaps. There's a lot that could happen in the in the Coastal.
I think Pittsburgh's going to win it. Next, Big 12, Texas over Oklahoma. I agree with that.
I had Texas and Oklahoma in the final. I took Oklahoma to win, but I have no issue with that Texas pick. I think that, they are the two clear-cut favorites in that conference, even though there's a couple other teams that could make some noise, like a TCU or an Iowa State.
In the Big 10, he's got Ohio State over Wisconsin. I had Ohio State over Northwestern.
Again, they talk about the Big Ten West. That's another division where I could see maybe 5 different teams coming out of it. I had Ohio State winning the conference. I had Ohio State over Nebraska. I don't feel super confident about that Nebraska pick, again, because I could see them or Iowa or Northwestern or Wisconsin or even Minnesota sneaking up on people and getting into the Big Ten title game. But I do think Ohio State wins it.
I agree with you on everything you just said. When you look at the Big Ten West, to me, it's as wide open as the Miami version, the Miami side of the ACC. Next, we come to the Pac-12. Washington over Arizona State. I think Arizona State's going to shock some people.
Kirk does too. I think Arizona State has another solid season. I don't have them in the title game. I had Utah winning the title game.
Me too.
Over, I believe, Oregon. So I think Utah is really loaded up front defensively. I think they're one of the more underrated teams in the country. But Arizona State is a pretty bold pick on his part. I think that's probably the boldest pick he has in terms of a college conference championship game participant.
Yeah, I agree. SEC, Bama over Georgia.
Yeah, that's what I have. I think that until you see somebody else come through and win, although we did see Georgia beat Auburn 2 years ago, I think it's Bama, Georgia in the title game until further notice. And, until Georgia actually gets it done, I'm picking Bama.
Here's my deal. I think Georgia's as good as Alabama talent-wise with their starters. But when you start getting into the too deep, they don't have a quarterback after Fromm. I just think the Alabama depth's going to be the difference. Okay, I want to ask you about something that's a big question here in the Spartan Nation. I wrote about it earlier today. I asked 10 media members, 10 large donors, and 10 administrators at Michigan State. With the defense that Michigan State has and pissed away last year, how many wins does Mark D'Antonio have to get to this year for this season to be considered a success? Anything less than that number, in your opinion, with that defense and not firing any staff, they gave their opinion. I'm curious, with that defense and his choice not to fire any staff but just reassign people, as a national pundit that has nothing to lose, Matt Hladik, how many wins does Mark D'Antonio have to get to for this season not to be a disappointment?
I think he's got to get in the 9-win, 10-win range or so. I think when you look at their schedule, they obviously have to play the other 3 teams that are really pretty loaded in their division with Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. They go to Wisconsin. They play Arizona State, who we just said could surprise some people again. They got to play at Northwestern, which is not that easy. There's probably a loss or 2 at least on that schedule. I think at least 9 wins, and I think you've got to win a couple of those major games. You have to get either a rivalry win over either a Michigan or a Penn State, or you have to be able to win at Wisconsin or Northwestern. I think a 9-10 win season is a success. Even if they don't win the Big Ten East, I think 9-10 wins will be viewed as a success.
I agree with you. And of the 20 people I surveyed, 19 said 9 wins. 1 said 10. So there you go. That's what everyone around here is thinking too. I want to talk to you about a college freshman All-American arrested for domestic assault. Sad story. Tell us about it.
Yeah, this is obviously the least ideal story you want coming out about your program a week before the season starts. Tennessee cornerback Bryce Thompson, who was a stud last year as a freshman, arrested over the weekend on alleged domestic assault charges. He was released from jail on Saturday. He was supposedly overheard threatening a woman he was arguing with, and a witness claims he said he was going to shoot up the school. Again, we don't know if this is true or not. These are all just allegations, but certainly it's not what you want to hear, because You never want to hear about any type of threatened violence against women, and especially with some of the shootings and public shootings and school shootings we've had, any type of reference to that is going to be taken with the utmost seriousness these days. So hopefully, I would love to find out that maybe the details were wrong and maybe there was some exaggeration there. But if what witnesses said was correct and the allegations are true, I wouldn't be surprised if Bryce Thompson's career is done at Tennessee.
Urban Meyer is now going to do stuff for Fox, but can't stop taking shots at Jim Harbaugh. We got 30 seconds. You got to tell everybody this story.
It was great. He was on the show the other day with a few other Fox guys, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, and they asked, "Is this Michigan's year?" And Urban Meyer laughed and said, "For what?" And that really went, viral. Obviously, Michigan fans think it's the year to beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten. Urban wasn't necessarily having that.
Yeah, and I think it's hilarious that Urban's going to be on Fox until he's a head coach next year. He's going to be on Fox all this year just gigging the Wolverines. That's fun. He's Matt Hladik, and we just went around the world of college football for week 1.